Mhm.
Alternating? Or
Oh, yeah, do you wanna alternate?
yeah, I mean, that would change it up because it's gonna sound pretty.
Something's wrong, but you're moving on to the danger zone. Golden smiles and flickering lights, it's all chemical. And you can't get out for the rest of your life. You'll be stuck inside these walls. Apologize and get on with the lies. You have done it all before. And you leave again. Disappear into the night. Getting closer. And they crawl into your side. And they say the kill is never wrong. The kill will make it strong. Dark red clouds cover the sky. Keep your head down low. Keep it low. Turn around and walk to the sound on the radio. I keep getting high to hide the words you said and all the love we shared. I keep getting stronger to make everything pass when you're not there. You're not there. Will you let me say your prayer? And you leave again. Disappear into the night. Getting closer. And they crawl into your side. And they say the kill is never wrong. The kill will make it strong. I kept getting high to hide the words you said. I kept getting high to hide the words you said and all the love we shared. The kill is never wrong. Never wrong. I kept getting high to hide the words you said. Make it strong.
All right, welcome everybody to Absolutely Criminal. My name is Andrew, and right beside me, as always, is Tiffie Lou. How you doing, Tiffie Lou?
I'm doing okay.
Well, we couldn't go on our show today without acknowledging what happened in Lewiston, Maine, the other day. Another mass shooting, sort of a uniquely American phenomenon, um, and it's frustrating because we don't have anybody to strike back at. There's no justice in this. The guy's still at large,
Yeah, he's still gone.
but
Yeah,
even if we get him, even if he's dead,
the lives are still lost.
yeah. So, it's hard for me, and I know it's hard for a lot of you guys. Um, let's see. So this is the guy that's still out. What's his name? Robert Card. And unusual for this kind of case, Tiffy Lou, that the shooter is gone.
Yeah, they usually end up killing themselves or they get caught pretty quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So this is really unique, and I can't imagine the terror that people in that area are feeling. And also, I mean, he could travel. You don't know where he's going to pop up next.
Mhm.
So hopefully, the feds have a good eye on him, but they certainly didn't before because they knew there were problems. I mean, he had talked about shooting up uh, army bases or marine bases. I think he's a marine, and he just got out of a psych ward where he
Oh
was
my
for
gosh.
yeah.
So,
So
in a way, we had warning.
Yeah, and doesn't it always end up this way? I mean, we find out, oh, hey, they wrote a big manifesto that's all racist and or whatever against the government,
Mhm.
and but within the laws, I don't know what you can do. I mean, I'm not nuanced enough to discuss gun control, but whether you think it's guns or mental health, we got a serious problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, on the night of October 25th, 2023, a horrific mass shooting took place in Lewiston, Maine, at two different locations: a bowling alley and a bar and restaurant. The suspect, identified as 40-year-old Robert Card, an Army reservist, allegedly opened fire, killing 18 individuals and injuring 13 others. This tragedy marked one of the deadliest mass shootings in Maine history, sending shockwaves through the community and initiating a massive manhunt for the suspect. Here's an hour by hour timeline and summary of the incident and the subsequent manhunt. So, on October 25th in the evening, the shooting spree begins at a local bowling alley known as Just in Time Recreation. So people are there bowling. I'm sure there's kids,
Mhm.
just living their lives. And it continued at Schmengi's, forgive me if I'm Shemengi's Bar and Grill restaurant, and it claimed a total of 18 lives. As we said, emergency services were dispatched to the scene, and the injured victims were rushed to nearby hospitals. The police immediately commenced an investigation to identify the assailant, and his identity was on the news pretty quickly, for public safety.
Mhm.
October 26th in the morning, law enforcement authorities held a press conference disclosing preliminary details of the tragedy, and the victims' families are notified. In the afternoon on the 26th, the suspect was identified, and his photographs were circulated in media to aid in his capture. And as the night fell, residents in Lewiston and neighboring towns were advised to remain indoors as the manhunt for Card intensified, with hundreds of heavily armed police and FBI agents joining the search. And you can see some in that footage there. October 27th, is that today? Yeah, so this is right up to date. In the morning, and this is the latest information we have, the manhunt continued with local, state, federal, and uh, local authorities involved. Residents were still advised to stay indoors for their safety. Um, Authorities surround a home in Maine as part of a large search for Card, although I guess that didn't pan out and he remains at large. The community is holding vigils to mourn the victims, and we're going to talk about them individually in just a little bit. The ones that are available. I tried to find all the pictures and the names and the ages. I didn't find all the details, but we have a pretty complete list, I think. And so the massive manhunt for Card stretches into Friday, and now Friday evening, with law enforcement agencies and the community still on high alert. Uh, so as for the motive, it's suggested that Robert Card might have been targeting his ex-girlfriend during the attacks. The two used to spend time together at the bowling alley and bar and grill in Lewiston, where the shootings occurred. And Card is a U.S. Army reservist. Army, okay. Carried out the attacks using an AR-style rifle, resulting in those fatalities. Of course, authorities were informed by Card's sister that a domestic dispute could have triggered the shooting, a lead which police are exploring currently. Card had a prior marriage that ended in divorce in 2007, and before the shootings, he left a note addressed to his son uh, from that from that marriage, from his previous marriage. Other sources have confirmed that the authorities' investigation into the claims that Card may have been searching for his ex-girlfriend at the mentioned locations during the time of the shootings. These locations were known, of course, to be places where the suspect and the girlfriend got together. Maybe a little revenge, I don't know. In addition to the aforementioned information, Card's sister shared with the investigators her belief that her brother might have been looking, and we detailed that. So I'm repeating myself at this point. But yeah, so we're gonna Tiffy's gonna tell you about the victims here individually in just a minute. And want to welcome everybody here. Kim Burley, Renee, Bama Green Eyes is here. And oh, don't I have any? Yeah, there we go. and Love Pet and Kimberly and Amelia Sparkles. Welcome. Tiffy.
You know what's frustrating about him is looking at his face, he looks like absolutely anyone.
Yeah.
You know, like if I were to give a description of him, there's nothing about him that stands out. He can blend into a crowd,
Yeah,
and I think
generic
that
white
makes
dude.
him yes, it makes him very scary that way.
Right.
He doesn't even have, like, a funny looking nose or something. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, and he's got an option with facial hair, with cutting his,
Yeah.
shaving his head or whatever. And yeah, you don't know. I mean, we were New Englanders.
Mhm.
Uh, we moved to California about 10 years ago.
It was 8.
8
It
years ago.
mhm.
But, yeah, the communities up in that area are really tight knit, and, of course, they had the, shooting at, um the name is escaping me.
Schemengees.
No,
Oh.
the school shooting.
Oh, the school
Sandy
shooting,
Hook.
Sandy Hook,
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
so
that
they
happened when we were
went
there.
through that in 2014, I believe.
2012. Mhm.
2012? Okay.
Mhm.
Alright. Well, Tiffy, tell us about, some of the victims, and, afterward, we'll talk to the chat.
Alrighty. Alright, bear with me. I don't know how well I'm gonna pronounce some of these names, but I'm going to give it a really good shot. Tracy Assaylan was tragically killed while attempting to call 911 during the shooting, showcasing her bravery. She was a sports enthusiast, particularly fond of the Boston Bruins, and had a close knit circle of friends who cherished her warm smile and caring nature. Tracy's courageous spirit and heartfelt connections with her friends and community paint a picture of a selfless individual whose legacy will continue to inspire. Bob Violette Bob Violette, known as Coach Bob, was adored for his dedication to coaching children. He met a tragic end doing what he loved at Just in Time Recreation, leaving behind a legacy of nurturing and caring for the young players he coached. Bob's remarkable patience and passion in coaching created a nurturing environment for young individuals. His enduring legacy as Coach Bob will continue to inspire both young and old in the community. This is the one I'm going to have trouble with, so bear with me.
Mhm.
Michael Deslauriers II, I think that's
That's
correct.
probably close.
Michael Deslauriers II, yes, was an avid golfer and bowler participating in a bowling league weekly. His life was tragically cut short during the Lewiston shootings, leaving behind memories of his sporting passions. Michael's love for golfing and bowling showcased his spirit and engagement with life's joys. His camaraderie in the lanes and on the greens will be deeply missed and cherished. Jason Walker heroically lost his life while protecting his family during the Lewiston mass shootings, charging at the shooter alongside his friend Michael Deloria II at Just in Time Recreation. Jason's valiant act of shielding his loved ones reflects a bravery that will forever be honored and remembered. His heroic legacy lives on in the hearts of his family and community. Tommy Conrad, a new manager at the bowling alley, tragically lost his life, leaving behind a 9-year-old daughter. Tommy's new journey as a manager was cut short, yet his memory will continue to roll down the lanes he once managed, leaving a lasting legacy for his daughter. Bill Young was a devoted father who treasured his moments with his children, especially during league competitions at the bowling alley. Bill's dedication to his family and love for bowling are the lanes of memories that his loved ones will continue to cherish. Aaron Young, a talented young bowler, was tragically killed alongside his father, Bill Young, at Just in Time Recreation during the Lewiston shootings. Aaron's enthusiasm for bowling and the close bond with his father left a lasting impression. His memory will continue to roll down the lanes he once enjoyed. Arthur Strout, a dedicated father and husband, met a tragic end while playing pool with his father at Schemengees Bar and Grill.
Mhm.
Arthur's family oriented nature and love for simple joys in his life paints a heartwarming image that will continue to resonate with his loved ones. Joseph Walker, a bar manager at Schemengees Bar and Grill, showcased heroism by attempting to stop the gunman, saving others at the cost of his own life. Joseph's brave actions and welcoming nature within his community portray a hero whose legacy of valor and warmth will continue to inspire many. Brian McFarlane was an integral part of the deaf community, participating in cornhole tournaments at Schemengee's Bar and Grill, where he tragically lost his life. Brian's engagement with his community and love for friendly competition will be remembered fondly by those whose lives he's touched. Bill Brackett was part of a deaf community gathering at Schemengee's Bar and Grill where he tragically lost his life during the shootings. Bill's presence in the community gathering depicts a sense of camaraderie and belonging. His memory will continue to unite those who left behind. Joshua Seal, a cherished father and husband, was also an appreciated American Sign Language interpreter whose life was tragically cut short during the shootings. Joshua's dedication to bridging communication gaps and his love for his family leave an enduring legacy of connection and love. Steve Viscella, a cherished member of the deaf community, was tragically killed during the Lewiston shootings. Steve's enthusiasm and warm presence will be profoundly missed, yet his memory will continue to resonate within the community. Max Hathaway, a loving father of two with a third child on the way, was killed during the shootings. Max's joyous and uplifting attitude will continue to inspire his family, leaving a lasting legacy of love and positivity. Ron Morin, known for his cheerful demeanor, tragically lost his life, but his joyful nature continues to brighten the lives of those who knew him. Ron's infectious positivity and caring nature will forever be remembered, bringing solace to the community during this difficult time. And Peyton Brewster Ross, a new father and dedicated worker, was tragically killed while enjoying a game of cornhole with friends. Peyton's jovial spirit and dedication to his family and work will continue to be a source of inspiration and fond memories for his loved ones.
Looks like he was dedicated to comics too. Look at his tattoos.
I know.
Wonderful.
Oh, my son would be in love with that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tiffie Lou. Yeah, that's it's a hard way to start a show, but you know, we it's
It had to be acknowledged.
yeah, it's just on our minds.
And it's right here around us. It's
Mhm.
in our everyday. It's in our today. And unfortunately, it seems to be happening more and more and more. I was just, doing Google things a couple of weeks ago, and I think I mentioned to you, Andrew, that the mass shootings have increased
Mhm.
quite a bit. I mean, unfortunately, it's not a new thing. People have been doing this forever.
Yeah.
But they seem to be, I don't know, on a high roll lately. Like, I don't know why this is the way people have chosen to act out.
So many copycats.
It's just so terrifying, people can't go to the movies, they can't go out with their families to a bowling alley.
Yeah.
It's just scary. And that the father and son thing,
Mhm.
you think your husband and your kid are going out to have a little bonding moment, something they like to do, and then they don't come home.
Right.
That's just terrifying, you know? It's
Yeah.
very scary to think about.
Very scary. Kim Burley had a scary experience. Her kids were little. When her kids were little, a stranger pointed a rifle at them at the lake, swimming, saying he was going to shoot you up. Yeah, wouldn't wish that feeling on anyone. That's terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yep. So we're just we can't do anything, but our hearts are with the Lewiston community.
Right. Yeah. And we
Oh,
can continue to pray for the families and obviously hope for the best for those that are wounded.
yeah. Yep. Exactly. So let's
When
see.
you say Tiffy time in chat, uh, what does that mean for me? Because I wasn't given a script or
It's Tiffy
anything.
time. Everybody loves Tiffy time.
I don't know what we're doing now.
Well, we need a little pick me up. We are gonna get to the Adelson trial,
Oh,
and we'll
yeah.
give you a full rundown of what's been happening. I know a lot of our audience came from Mentor Lawyer, Deep Dive True Crime, and he's actually at the trial. He's reporting live
I know.
several times a
You
day.
found a picture of him,
Yeah,
right?
he's in the gallery, sitting there. So yeah, check out Deep Dive True Crime if you haven't already. He's on the case. So yeah,
Um, I want us to also, and I don't know how anybody else feels, I want us to follow up with Koberger. Um, he's in trial too right now.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I wanna know what that icy-eyed guy is, I'd love to be able to follow that
he's
trial.
got the Ted Bundy stare,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, he's a little scary. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
Well, do you have anything else to
No,
say?
I didn't know what Tiffy tongue meant, but apparently that's all it means.
Well, we're still feeling this out. I
Yeah.
said to somebody, bear with us while we figure shit out. But
Right, yeah.
we're still working out the kinks. But definitely, yeah. Joe Bailey said they all sound like great people. I mean, just regular people.
Yeah,
You and
anybody you might wanna hang out with, and
yeah,
that's what's so heartbreaking.
right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, Dr. Chuck is out of luck. Can I have the let's see.
You have a microphone? Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
have the microphone. Oh.
He of course is on trial now, and maybe Wendy will be on trial. And Wendy Adelson, if you don't know, she had a testifying outfit. Like she would wear that every time she testified for some reason,
Mhm.
and she's actually wearing something new. So here are the cast of characters in this bizarre and twisted episode. I don't know. My brain got stuck.
Mhm.
So
I would say it's more of a series, but okay.
so there's Wendy Adelson, that is Charlie's sister, and we'll talk about her in a moment. Of course, Daniel Markel in the center there. He is the victim and was brutally murdered in his own driveway.
Yes, it's horrifying.
Yeah. So we'll give you a little bit of a rundown. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but for those that aren't, the case revolves around the murder of Dan Markel, a law professor at FSU. And it was a result of a bitter divorce and custody battle between Dan Markel and Wendy Adelson. The motive was she is next to Casey or Kaylee Anthony. Casey Anthony, she's probably the most hated woman in Florida right now.
I don't know, after I saw that documentary with Casey Anthony, I it kind of
It blew
bended
my
my
mind.
thoughts. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know anymore.
Right. There is
Yeah.
another side to things, but
Mhm.
I don't know what to believe because, I mean,
It was
yeah.
very compelling though. If you guys haven't
Yeah.
seen it, I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very it's very interesting. Yes.
Charlie's mugshot with the Bozo the Clown hair is fairly what yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
really is. Maybe we can pull that up later. Oh, also we have a whole episode on the Adelsons and the murder. I'm gonna paste it in the chat right now. Half-hour episode if you wanna go enjoy that after, or you wanna bug out and do that,
Just
you
to
can
catch up, you
yeah,
know?
and come back. But, so Charlie Adelson is Wendy's brother, and he was a successful periodontist in Fort Lauderdale, until he allegedly decided to throw it all away. Alright, and then the woman in the middle there is Catherine Magbanua, Charlie Adelson's girlfriend, and the link between the Adelson family and the hitmen Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, not the former baseball player Luis Rivera. Catherine's ex-boyfriend is Sigfredo is Catherine's ex-boyfriend and one of the hitmen, and the second hitman associated with Garcia. Now these guys have been convicted for these crimes now, but they are agreeing to testify. And the murder plot,
They were basically the hired hands.
yes,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And what they did, uh, they hired. Let's see, Charlie Adelson was the mastermind behind the murder plot, according to prosecutors. Catherine Magbanua was the intermediary connecting Charlie Adelson to the hitmen, and the hitmen were promised a payment of $100,000 for the job.
Each?
Possibly, yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, the murder took place, or maybe they had to split it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the going rate is right now for
Yeah,
that
I'm
kind of
not
thing.
really sure. I'm not up to date on that. Yep.
Yep. Joe Bailey was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Broward County. Are you still down there? I lived in near Orlando in Saint Mount Dora for a little bit.
My mom and my brother live in St. Petersburg. Isn't this a small world? Yeah.
So the prosecutor made her opening statement. Oh, here we go. That's Wendy. All right, that's the prosecutor. In her opening statement, she laid out the details as alleged by the state, and uh, revealed that they made two trips to Tallahassee. The first was a month before the murder for scouting, and the second was for the actual murder. Now, Rivera was paid in cash by Catherine Magbanua after the murder, and the cash was in stacks of $100 bills, and they were all stapled together.
Stapled?
Yes, it's a unique practice that tied Charlie Adelson to this again. I guess he staples his
His money?
his money, I get in stacks
Okay.
of 10,000, I don't know. After the murder, the Adelsons were reportedly concerned about being blackmailed. They hoped that the blackmailer was law enforcement, indicating they were just fishing for information, according to the prosecutor. They feared an insider who knew about their involvement in the murder and might inform the police. So the prosecutor emphasized the defendant's role in orchestrating the murder. The evidence presented would prove Charlie Adelson's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, she said, and of course, she asked for a verdict of guilty. Uh, so, is it an Adelson crime family? We also have Harvey and Donna.
Yeah, I think the parents are involved too.
It's dirty. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they. This is all alleged, of course, but
Yeah. I
I
mean, but
mean, if
that's
it's
why I said I think. I'm
right,
just sharing an opinion.
right.
Mere conversation over here.
Thank you. Clarified that they are stacks of 1,000. So 10 $100 bills just stapled together. I guess that works. So the defense, they had a position too. Uh, his lawyer argued that Charlie Adelson, that's Daniel
This guy looks
Rashbinder.
like Steve Carell to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, he could be played by Steve Carell
He could.
in the Wendy Adelson story.
Mhm.
The defense's position, they argued that Charlie Adelson was not involved in a murder for hire plot, but was instead a victim of extortion by that evil Catherine Magbanua and her associates.
Oh, she's so evil.
And the July 18th incident, Charlie Adelson's day started normally, working in two offices in Jupiter, Florida, according to the defense. And Catherine visited Charlie that night, appearing frantic and upset. Charlie was shaken by some news, not because he was close with Markel, but because someone he knew had been shot. Katie informed Charlie that a friend of hers had shot Professor Markel, and she emphasized that she had nothing to do with it. She revealed that the people she had been talking to had learned about the Adelson family's issues with Markel. They hated him. They called
Uh-huh.
him Gibbers. They just hated this guy, and they allegedly had taken upon themselves to commit the crime. Charlie was told that if he didn't pay within 48 hours, he or a family member would be the next target, supposedly, to the defense.
Hmm.
So the initial payment was more than 100 grand. Payments were made monthly, not indicative of a murder for hire, the defense says, but more in line with extortion. A few months after the extortion, the payment method changed, and Katie was put on the books of the Adelson Institute, creating a paper trail, kind of a no-show job like the mafia has.
Hmm.
The defense argued that the sequential checks and the back and forth nature of the payments were due to the extortion situation. So everything is explained. But we talked about the parents earlier, and these are Wendy and Charlie's parents. Uh, there was an undercover operation. The defense brought it up, and Charlie and his family were relieved at the possibility that the bump they had an undercover officer run into Donna here and let her know basically, we know what's going on. We need money, and you need to take care of it. and she didn't seem to be too confused as to what
Wow.
they meant. But yeah, that's good. Uh, mm, so it might be the police. They were concerned that the bump might be the police, as that would mean they were no longer in danger from
Mhm.
the original extortionist. Woo! It's only the cops. So then they got Sigfredo Garcia. He was arrested on May 25th, 2016, and then Luis Rivera was arrested on June 2nd. Catherine Magbanua had a little bit of time out, but was ultimately arrested on October 1st of that year. Charlie Adelson was not arrested for 6 long years.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
Mhm.
I don't understand it. They had connections directly to him.
Yeah, but they're building a very careful case. They have
Mhm.
all this undercover stuff, so I guess they wanna get it right, which you can't fault them for that. But, Wendy reportedly has issues with anxiety.
Oh,
I can't
how does
imagine,
she get through?
like, this past number of years, just like that in her gut all day.
She could
Uh
just take some Xanax,
oh, yeah, I'm sure she
sleep through it.
does. Yeah, Xanax, you take a few and you fast forward to the next day. Um So Wendy testified again, and she had always had this outfit, but has a new one, of course, now. The individual testifying, Wendy Adelson, is closely associated with her brother, and she was questioning him about her potential involvement and knowledge concerning the plot to kill her ex-husband, much like she was in the previous trial she appeared.
Mhm.
This is number 3, I believe. So she denied involvement consistently. And, yeah, Wendy's waiting for her turn. She consistently denied any involvement, and she emphasized her shock and horror upon learning about the murder. There's a great, uh, moment in that interrogation of Wendy where they tell her that Dan is dead, and almost before the cop finishes,
I
she's
love watching those videos, though. They're very funny,
right.
people trying to act surprised.
"Oh my god,"
Yeah.
so she claimed ignorance about the murder plot, and, she was unaware of anything. She doesn't know nothing. She denies being at the crime scene. She was questioned about her whereabouts and actions that day, but she had suspicions, she said, about various individuals, but never genuinely believed her beloved brother, Charlie, was involved. She felt it was unlikely for family members to be involved in such a heinous act. They're all about that, of course. She had conversations with Charlie about the murder, but never confronted him about the potential involvement. Maybe because she just knew that he knew that she knew.
Mhm.
During her interactions with the cops, she was terrified and tried to provide any information she could think of, she said. She mentioned various names and potential leads, trying to help the investigation. Now, in her interview with law enforcement, the one we just talked about, she mentioned Charlie's name in relation to the hitman joke.
Mhm.
It was wildly funny, apparently, that Charlie suggested she get a hitman to take care of her problem.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, but as people do, you know, she expresses a strong desire for justice for her children's father, but it doesn't ring very true, and she believes that
Mhm.
whoever is responsible should be held accountable, even if it were a family member, and I hope that statement is true, even if it's Wendy.
Mm.
Maybe she
Yeah.
will be held accountable.
So do you buy her, ignorance in this? Like, what is your
No.
opinion on it?
About Wendy? I mean,
Mhm.
it's I think it's in line with the common consensus out there that she had something to do with it, or at least knew about it,
Mhm.
allegedly. But, Bama Green Eyes, as she says, she was so fake.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, and, yeah, Clairol says she says, of course,
Mhm.
when Wendy is not so innocent as she pretends to be. Let's see. Yeah, Wendy just found out today that Charlie was extorted after all these years. Estrange says Wendy is delusional, but she still thinks she will never be arrested. She probably,
It's been a while, she hasn't been. I can understand her thought of security,
yeah.
but,
And, f-
no.
and for a person with anxiety disorder to be thinking about this for years, oh my god. I mean, I don't feel bad for her, but I think it's just an interesting situation. Wendy has never once spoken to her family about Dan's murder, she said, not in all these
See, and
years.
that's odd
Hmm.
because that would be a common conversation if somebody in my family was accused. We would be
Yeah.
discussing it. We would be
I mean,
asking questions. I mean, this is odd.
if I hired a hitman to kill your ex-husband, way back when, allegedly, uh, you know, would you go along with that? I mean,
No,
yeah.
I would not.
But if you found out that he was killed, you would still be
I would
upset by
raise an
it.
eyebrow with you if
Right.
you mentioned it before. It wouldn't be
You would check
something
my Google
yeah, it
history.
wouldn't be something I just drop,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and that kinda reminds me she's never spoken to her family about Dan's murder. That reminds me of Sarah Boone, of course. She has never once mentioned the family
Mhm.
of, Jorge Torres, and I'm
Of
sure she's
course.
never talked to them. But Renee certainly doesn't believe a word she said,
Right,
and,
yeah.
yeah. The quote, "I bought you a TV for a divorce present because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman." Yes, Charlie said that to Wendy. And that was the big joke. That was the big ha ha funny moment that was at the end of
Well,
the
the
show.
thing is if you just watch some of her interviews, she seems very, very coached.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
She
Yeah,
holds
look at
it
her up there.
together, but she's coached. Like, she is
Yeah,
trained to answer these questions this way.
for sure, which, I mean, lawyers do, they
I
kinda
get
coach their
that, yeah,
clients.
but it's supposed to look more natural, you
Mhm.
know?
And what's with the big fucking smile?
I know.
I don't know. I don't know that there's and she giggles and all that. I guess I do when I'm nervous too,
I don't.
but it's a bad look. Yeah, she has all the
Well,
time in
I
the
do make
world.
sarcastic jokes, though. That's probably not appropriate. Mm.
Yep. And I was wondering about this today too. Estrange said she has all the time in the world to be coached because she has no job. I was wondering, like, where can she work? Does she still have supporters? She probably does.
How is
And
she paying how is she paying for anything?
well, the family's pretty wealthy, I think.
So
But
she's living off her parents?
man, these lawyers must cost millions. So I don't know how long
Who bought
much.
her new outfit? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, she is a lawyer as well, so she knows already to
Oh,
say and
that's
not
true,
say.
yeah, so she's coached herself.
Mhm,
Huh.
and she has attorney-client privilege with herself, and
Mm,
she's not talking.
uh-huh.
Wow, yeah, so that's the Ballad of the Adelsons. There was court this afternoon, so I don't know, if anything else happened. There is a list of people that testified today, and, so Wendy Adelson wrapped up her testimony, of course, we talked about that. Officer Bill Brannon took the stand after Wendy, and he noted a red Honda Odyssey near Markel's home on the day of the murder. Then it was Jeffrey Lacass's turn. He's Wendy's ex-boyfriend. He discussed the relationship at dinner with Charlie Adelson and Catherine, and Wendy's nervous behavior in early June 2014. She was acting kind of weird, Tiffie Lou.
Mm, yeah, well, she lacks kind of weird in general, though.
Yeah, but she was probably, very nervous. Oh, she collects over 4 grand a month for the kids, father that she gets the death benefit.
She gets the death benefit? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I guess insurance companies hold off until investigations are complete,
Yeah,
but
that's what I always assumed.
yeah, that makes me sick. I don't know. But she's not accused of any crime, you know?
Yeah.
So, I guess she can collect that money. Stephen Webster was after that, and he's an attorney who represented Markel in his divorce, or post-divorce, and he described the litigious nature of Markel and Wendy's separation. They were always filing motions and battling it out in that divorce. Then, June Umchinda testified, Charlie Adelson's ex-girlfriend, and she testified about Adelson's changing behavior. He also started acting nervous and weird, as if he knew about a murder or something, but particularly about after Catherine Magbanua's arrest in October 2016. She said that he really seemed to get nervous after Catherine was arrested.
Mhm.
And of course, Catherine, is testifying now. Ryan Fitzpatrick took the stand. He's an old friend and business partner of Charlie, and he testified about the Adelson's family's disapproval of Dan Markel.
Hmm.
Uh, and then Luis Rivera, one of the hitmen, testified last, stating he was hired by Sigfredo Garcia. They all put it on each other. It's like a circle of pointing fingers. And Sigfredo, of course, was hired by Catherine on behalf of the Adelsons, allegedly. Uh, Luis also shared that they were paid the 100 grand for the murder. It doesn't say each, but
Mm.
maybe they had to split it. Poor guys.
Mhm.
And he detailed their failed first attempt to execute the plan in June 2014. That's right. They went down there.
That's right. They tried once before. I remember that. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Bam Green Eye says, I don't know how her lawyering is, but her acting is terrible. No Oscar award for her. Yeah, we hope she was a better lawyer than that. And apparently she was successful, but acting is just not her forte. Estranged one is talking about June. That's the ex-boyfriend of Charlie Adelson. She was a hot mess, lost in the courthouse that she has testified in twice. Phone alarm going off and just plain playing dumb. Ryan was good, straightforward, and had no love lost for his former friend. That's Ryan Fitzpatrick. And yeah, I guess he's done with Charlie too.
Wow.
So, are there any supporters for the Adelson family among not the Adelson family? I mean,
I
is
can't
it just,
imagine that they're getting a lot of support.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, of course, this is all alleged, but they just look like, I mean, I don't know. I could look at the,
I
look at,
don't. They look like, I hate to say this because I'm white too, but they look like your typical white person with a lot of money, and their money can just make their problems just go away.
Mhm,
And that's what they're trying to do. Obviously, allegedly trying to do.
right.
But yeah, that's what I see there.
But up until recently, I think Harvey was considered squeaky clean, technically, I guess. But I don't know. If anybody knows about what has come out with Harvey and Donna, if there's any revelations for that, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they don't act right either. They don't act like somebody that lost a son-in-law, even when they hated. So that's Wendy Adelson. And one of the most, yeah, her interrogation is great. We should watch a little bit of that. Maybe we'll pull up the moment next time where she finds out that he's
I
dead.
love those. Yeah,
Mhm.
we did a top 10 or something on reactions.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was, yeah.
It was great. Almost everybody responds before the news is completely delivered, you know?
Estrange says, "Why are we not talking about how Charlie looks like Danny DeVito as the Penguin? All pale, dark circles, and long nose." Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's looking better than he did when he first got in there. I mean, he was pudgy. He looked just frightened. He looked absolutely frightened every time. And now it looks like he's a little medicated. He's got a calm expression.
He's had a shower, so
Yeah, I wonder if they are friends with the Murdoch family. The other lawyer family that solved their problems with
that's
money.
right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder what they think about each other. I mean, they've probably heard of each other. I don't know. I don't know. You, Tiffy? I never know how to end the show,
Yeah, I know, that's clear.
but I feel like it's coming to an end.
It
I just
is.
have that feeling.
It's winding down. Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching and being here with us. We really appreciate your support. Please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed yourself. And if you really enjoyed yourself, first have yourself checked out, but then go to the membership tab on our homepage. And for a couple bucks a month, you can get exclusive audio and video and other good stuff. So, a way to support the channel, and you can go to tiffielou.com and get our ridiculous designs.
Merchandise.
Yeah,
Some of it's quite funny.
yeah. But you can go there and find something you absolutely don't need. All right. We love you guys, and we will see you on Tuesday. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to discuss, and we are out. Love you.